because we still have more exciting activities in store for you today. So before we jump off to the exciting stuff, my name is Andy from CBS IT, and I'm so hyped to be your host for UX&Chill today. So as I take you through the fun and insightful activities we planned for all of you this afternoon. So what are we waiting for? Let's start off with a raffle. So our co-presenter, UX Philippines, is a local nonprofit organization that hosts the country's largest and exciting network of design professionals, enthusiasts, and the like. They'll be needing your help to answer their survey. So come and join and be a part of the hopeful lucky winners. If you want to win a Figma Pro 3-month license or discount on IDF courses, feel free to do so and click the link that was sent in the Zoom chat box or scan the QR code that is currently on the slide. So yeah, you guys should totally check that out. UXPH actually had their conference last month, so that was cool. So you guys should totally check them out. They're super cool. So to formally start off more, um, we would like to welcome everybody to this year's UX&Chill production, where you get to revel in your creativity and unleash your inner artist, because not even the pandemic can extinguish our passion for user experience. The past few days, we've gone through a bunch of exciting talks and workshops from design and business professionals in the industry that showcases how user experience design can empower users in the face of in the digital normal. And it doesn't end here, because we still have more in store for all of you today. So feel free to also be as curious and engaging in our activities today for a chance to win 150 pesos worth of Grab vouchers. Of course, it will all depend on how you guys participate in our activities today. So don't miss out on that chance of grabbing some of our awesome giveaways. I can already tell that you guys are very eager to learn and get a closer look into our activities for today. So let's dive in as I introduce to you our very first guest for this evening, or should I say this afternoon. And so one of our guests for today's workshop on Webflow, how to create an online portfolio without coding, is currently a full stack designer at Instagram. He is passionate about enabling everyone to work for the web, and he began using Webflow last year and has built over 100 websites without any background in coding. And he likes nata de coco. Should you guys have any questions throughout the Webflow workshop, please do not hesitate to ask questions through our Slido. You may access it through the QR code flashed on the slide, I think here. Or you may also click the link that is sent in the chat box. So here is JP Dionisio.
Hello guys, thanks Andy for the introduction, and thanks to UX Society for inviting me to this event. And I'm just gonna share my slides. Oh, wait, wrong slide. There. Can you see my slides, guys?
Yeah, we can see them.
Okay. So I'm just gonna look at our participants. I can see a few familiar names. There's Chirina. She's from Webflow, Manila. She's an avid attendee. And feel free, guys, to give questions in the Slido link while we do this workshop. And I'll be giving to you the link for our slides. And of course, I will the slides in Webflow. So yeah. So I'll be teaching you guys how to create an online portfolio without coding. And of course, you can do this in Behance or Dribble, but it takes a little extra touch to stand up amongst the crowd. So I'll be teaching you Webflow. So here's our agenda for today. Roughly, we'll just finish in 90 minutes and we'll have 30 minutes for open discussion. I'll be teaching what is Webflow and the basics of it, and creating a portfolio from a template and customizing it. And this one, we won't be doing this step by step. I'll be doing the walkthrough on how I did it. So yeah. So we'll start on this video of explaining what is Webflow and the age of no code. Yeah.
Today, the world runs on code. Every text you send, every website you visit, every screen you swipe, it's all driven by code. Code that only a fraction of the world can even understand. And that's a problem. Imagine if only 1 out of every 400 people knew how to write. Think how many world-changing ideas would have never seen the light of day. We'd be stuck in the dark ages. And when it comes to software development, we kind of are. So what if, instead of writing hundreds of lines of code to add new features to your website, you could just design them directly on your website? What if you could create the next world-changing product without writing a single line of code? That's the future for creators, and it's about to change everything. It's time to unleash the power of software development to everyone by making it visual, so anyone can harness the power of code to build a website, an app, or an entire business without actually writing it. At Webflow, we're doing exactly that. We're empowering creators to design, build, and launch amazing things. No code required. Welcome to the future of software development. Welcome to the age of no code.
Okay, so the idea of no code is not actually abolishing code. It's the idea of not manually writing code. You can have drag and drop apps that create websites without coding. So you're kind of visually coding and not manually coding. So that's the idea of no code. That's a lot of people say a lot of people think no code means not doing code, and that's not no code. So yeah. So why did Webflow exist? In a lot of fields, a lot of creative fields, we have Photoshop for photo editing, illustration with Procreate, and UI design with Figma, and other more. And for front-end development, there hasn't really been a visual tool or program that creates or outputs websites. We have text editors such as Sublime, Visual Code Studio, and Dreamweaver. They don't really output websites, and they're not really visually appealing or visually intuitive. We do have no-code or low-code apps like WordPress.org, Wix, Squarespace. With WordPress, you need an understanding of code, or you need to know how to write code to use WordPress. And with Wix and Squarespace, you can't really customize the website fully. You don't have that much design freedom in these apps. So that's where Webflow goes. You can design apps totally in a Photoshop-like interface. So yeah, and make sure to watch the video above in your free time because Zoom has a low frame rate and the video is really good. Anyway, so I'm gonna teach you Webflow basics, and I'm gonna show you some Webflow websites that are made in Webflow. Okay, so first is UX Plus. If you're guys familiar or attended UX Plus, it was made in Webflow and has added code. And UX Society, if you guys, I know you guys familiar with this. It's actually made in Webflow, and I'm not familiar with the designer, but it's good job on it. And wait, I'm just gonna show you the website so you guys can see. So this one is the UX Plus. It's made by CSJ, if you know him.
Yes.
Yeah, looks really good. And this is by UX Society's website. It's really good. Good job. Yeah. If you want to check if it's made by Webflow, you can just view the source and you can see created in Webflow. Or if they white label it, you can just Control F and find WF because WF is the class name that Webflow uses. And this one, I made this website in Webflow. This is one of the first few websites that I created. It's Slap Wedding. It's actually for my brother's company. So yeah, just gonna scroll down. You can also open it in the slides that I gave you, so you can appreciate how good these websites are. Yeah. And for the next 3 websites, these are made by an agency at Cavite called WebWorks. They previously used WordPress for their websites, but now they switched to Webflow. And since then, they've noticed a 2 times speed in production. And ngayon, hindi na sila naghahabol sa deadline, but naghahabol na sila ngayon sa clients kasi nauubusan sila ng clients dahil sobrang bilis sila gumawa. So, yeah. So this by for Michelle D, if you know her. And another website that they made is for Shawarma Shack. Webflow is really good for marketing websites, if you notice. You can't create web apps in Webflow yet, but that's one of their future plans is to create web apps in Webflow. But that's not in the near future. And also this one was just that they made. It's like an online gallery or an online exhibit. And I'm just gonna show you this website that's also made in Webflow. Somebody made a prototype of the PS4 interface. So this just shows how much you can do with Webflow. Yeah, you can't create web apps, but you can create prototypes. Yeah. And also this one funny thing, someone created the homepage of Squarespace in Webflow. And I can't find the link, but someone also created the homepage of Editor X of Wix in Webflow. Yeah. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. So this is the Webflow interface. It's a designer, Webflow designer. So you can see this how it works, and it has interactions. That's why I can hover and show you each of the image. And let's go to the basics. And after this talk, you can check out these links to learn more about each of these bullet points. And for the Webflow designer, so this is the Webflow designer. If you haven't signed in Webflow, you can go to webflow.com, and it's going to show you this homepage. Then you can click this button right here, which is Get Started, and it's free. Webflow has a free plan that you can create 2 projects and 2 pages for each project. Yeah. And if you click that, you're gonna sign in. You can sign in with your Google account. You're gonna land into your dashboard. I'm just gonna show you what the dashboard looks like. Okay, so once you log in, this is what the dashboard looks like. And of course, you won't have these projects because these are my projects. And then you can create a new project. So we'll go into that later. And this is the Webflow designer. At the left side, you can see these buttons right here. And for this one, this is the navigator. This is like the DOM tree if you're a developer, or a layers panel if you're more like a designer. So as you can see, as I click on the elements here, it highlights which element is it. And this also shows you the structure of your website. For example, this text is the child element of this element. What a child means is it's under an element. And of course, the child has a parent, and the parent is what's encompassing that element. Okay. And I'll teach you about the box model. You can go to the lower left and click Reset Walkthrough. And you can see here the welcome to Webflow. Anyway, just show you this one. And the box model, what it means is every element in the Webflow, every element in websites are made of boxes. They're more like rectangles, but they call it box. So it's a box model. You can put a box inside of a box, or it's how all the website works. I can show you guys, for example, Apple's website, and Control Command Shift C to show you how it works, how the box structure works. So you can see here that heading is like a box, and this icon is also a box, and this is also a box with some padding around it. So you can notice that everything are made out of boxes in the website world, or in HTML world. Yeah. So that's basically how box model works. Yeah. And reusable styles. Styles is the CSS. What CSS is basically how you style an element. And for this one, you can see that it has a class name of list item portfolio speedrun. And every list item here has the same class name. And what that does, if you edit one class name, if you edit the style of one class name, you can edit all of them. See? Also edit the text color if you want. So you don't really need to put or change every element's property. You can just put the same class name and they will change. And built-in CMS. CMS basically means content management system. You can think of it as a database or an Excel sheet. I can show you what it means in this project. And this is a project that I made for you guys. I'll be sharing it to you later. And what this means is in this button right here is the CMS button. And you click that, and we have a collection here. Share the portfolios. And you can click this, and you can see the details of each item, each project. And what that does is this acts as a database, and we can pull in from the database to our collection list. And I know that sounds a lot, and I'll show it to you later how it works. And interaction and animations, just like I showed you earlier, we can create awesome interaction and animations with Webflow, and you don't really need to code this. See? Also, in this website, you can notice the gradient is actually shifting colors. Yeah, you can do that in Webflow without coding. And then also Webflow gives a free Webflow.io subdomain. If you notice, this website is in the subdomain of Webflow, so it's free. You don't need to pay for anything. Yeah, also this other website. And what's one of the great things is the university and clonables of Webflow. I'm just gonna show you what that is. Okay, so this is the University of Webflow. They also have a YouTube account that has all the videos. This will teach you what Webflow is. And nakakatuwa yung videos nila kasi it's very entertaining and di ka mauumay, unlike other tutorials that you can find in the web. Yeah, very well made yung videos nila. Totoo lang. Also, clonables, you can go to the clonables section of Webflow. You can click this link to go to the clonables page. What this means is all of the projects here, designers put this up so you can clone them freely and have that project yours. And you can see that I have these two projects free to clone for everyone. Actually, someone already cloned this. 9 people cloned this, and 3 people cloned this one, yung slides natin. Okay, so example lang is hanap tayo ng project na gusto natin. So siguro ito. And you can click clone, create project, give it a name, sample UX. It will load the designer. Just wait it for a few seconds. And there, you have this website for you. You can just double click the text and edit the text. So yeah, Webflow. And you can publish it. You're clicking publish and publish to selected domain. And what you name the project, that's gonna be your subdomain name or your website name. You can open a new tab. You can see we already have a website. That's how simple it is to create a website in Webflow. And you can check if it's responsive or not, because some clonables aren't really that responsive. So be careful what you clone. So it has some problems, but you can fix that. Like this one. So we won't go into that for now. Let's move on. Let's close this project. Okay. Yeah. So as I taught you earlier, this is the navigator side. It's the navigators tab where all your elements are, and this is the add elements section, add elements tab where you can drag and drop section elements to your canvas. Okay. For example, let's drag in an image. That's how you can drag an image and just click an image in your assets tab. This is the assets tab. You can replace the image if you want, maybe this one. And you can go to your styles panel to give it a width or a size. For example, 300 pixels. There, and let's delete that for now. And symbols are like components in Figma where they act as the same element. If you edit an element that has the same symbol, it will affect all the symbols. I don't have a symbol right here, so probably in this project. Let's go to the footer. I made this a symbol, that's why it's colored green. You can double click it and select an element, and just gonna show you how it affects all of those two symbols. See? If I made it bigger, it's gonna change. Or just change the color to see. Yeah, basically you get the same idea. Let's delete that. Let's go back to our slides. And this one is the e-commerce tab. We won't be going in e-commerce because there's a lot of things to talk about. We'll just teach you the basics for now. Next, the settings. Webflow has a free backup system where you can automatically backup your website. You don't have to worry about disconnecting from the internet. And that's one of the cons of Webflow is you need a stable internet to use Webflow because you're designing in the web, so you can see it in the web. Yeah. And then, okay. Then we're done with the basics. We're gonna move on to the portfolio speedrun. So if you guys are ready, you can sign up in Webflow, and we're gonna do this speedrun. I'm just gonna show you first the sample templates that we have in Webflow. This one is a sample. It's a free template that you can clone or start with. So you can click this link. It's gonna show you the project details, and it's happening to a next portfolio. This one. So you can see that these are not basic websites or something you wouldn't really like. Webflow has amazing websites, even in the free version. And this is another portfolio template that you can use if you're more of a blogger or tech-savvy person. Maybe you're a UX designer. You can use this template for you. So you can use a blog template for a UX portfolio. And then this is the link for the free website templates. I think Webflow has about 50 free templates. And if you know someone who has a business and they don't have a website or a proper website, you can ask them if if they want one, and they're gonna pay you, and you can use a free template for that. That's one tip. Anyway, let's hop into a free portfolio. Maybe, I think so. This one. We're gonna start with this one. It's free. Yeah. Before we start, I'm just gonna show you some paid templates. This is a portfolio template. This is around, I think it's less than 2,000 pesos. Yeah. Just gonna scroll through so you can see how it looks. And di pa kasama dun yung hosting. Parang yung template lang mismo yung what you're gonna pay. So yeah. And this next website. I think this is, I don't know, ito walang code to. They're just using some masking and interactions. So these are 2 layers. One is color black and one is color white. Yeah. And if you hover in this text, it's gonna show you the project image. Yeah. So one thing I like about Webflow is you can do stuff like this, and you can't really prototype this in Figma as much as I want to. That's why what I do in Figma is just static wireframes and hi-fi wireframes, and then I move on to Webflow. I don't do the prototype in Figma. Yeah. This one has an interaction with your mouse. If your mouse is on the left, it's gonna go to the right, and vice versa. And this is one of the paid templates. You can click here. You can really go crazy with how your website will look like. These are just some, ano lang, not that crazy websites. It's not loading. Okay, anyway, we'll start with this template. If you have Laguna, you can go to this link and go with me. So we're gonna click use for free. If you want to preview it, you can preview it in your browser, what the template will look like. And also, what this one good things about Webflow is you can preview it in the designer. Even paid templates have this option. So you can see how they did it in Webflow, and you can basically copy how they did it and not pay for it. You just wait for this to load so I can see how it really is in Webflow. Okay, so this is the preview in Designer. So we can't really publish it because it's just a preview. You can do that in paid templates also. So you can see here how they did it. Everything, all the elements, how they structured it, what the class name they have, what their styles are, and that's it. That's how you preview a template. And for this one, we're gonna start our workshop and we're gonna use it for free. And click create project, and you can name it any name you want, maybe portfolios JP. Yes. And then we're gonna wait for the Webflow designer. And now you have a website. You can just click publish to selected domain, since Webflow gives us a free subdomain, and click this button, the open in new tab. And tada, we have our Webflow website. And of course, we need to edit it. So yeah. You can go back to the designer and change out this one. Just say JP Dionisio. Says hire me please. And you can change this button to email me. Yes. And we can click the button and change the link fit. Oh, wait, it's just gonna go to contact. Maybe you can just copy paste this and then change this to contact. And that will go to this page, and this one is gonna go to straight to your email. So you can click the button, click the gear icon, and click this envelope, which is the email. You can put in your email. So what that does is, I'm just gonna put my email here. And then just publish it to update our live website. And refresh our website. And that's how fast you can update your website. If you click email with this, it's gonna go to your email app, and yeah, they can contact you straight away. See? And then for this one, we want to put a spacing, so just add a class name. Spacing. All right. If you notice, the class names here, if you're a developer, you don't really need to follow the naming conventions of all having the letters in lowercase and not having spaces. Webflow automatically puts the upper class characters in lower cases and transforms the spaces into dashes. So you don't need to worry about it. And also you can add an emoji. Yeah, but that doesn't carry in the code the emojis. Just so you know. So now that we have a combo class, we can put a spacing. Yeah, how much you want depends on you. So properly spaced. Let's refresh that and see how it looks. So yeah, now they have a space. Also, if you want to go the extra mile, you can click the button, go here, and you can click here, this drop-down icon. These are the states of the button. So if there's no interaction, or if it's hover, you can change the style. So hover means your mouse is on the element. So let's put like a black, or no, a red background, just so we can see how it works. And go back to none. And when we preview it, we can hover in the button. It's gonna show you the transition or the change in the hover style. Okay, so now let's go on to our works. For this one, we're gonna go to our database or CMS, and this template has already two collections, categories and projects. We won't be dealing with categories for now. Let's go into projects. We can edit this project or add a new project that we want. Maybe I'm gonna add my project. And this, just drag an image. And then wait for it to load. And I'm just gonna copy paste a text. What's that? Solution learnings. So this is a rich text box that you can put in rich text elements. Yeah. Oh no. And then create the item. So you'll see it here. So it's not, those elements are now in here. So that's the image that I want. So that's the image that I uploaded. Just go to our live website. Of course, it's not yet updated because we haven't published it. We publish our website and refresh it. And ta-da! You have now your new Webflow item. And I click that. So yeah, so that's how easy it is to put a CMS item. Okay, so we have a problem here and we can change that. And one good thing about Webflow is as this editor feature. If you're working with a client and you have a Webflow plan, you can go give them editor access. What this means is you can edit the website as it is. Okay. On the live site. So for here, you can just edit here and change whatever we want. Okay, oh. And then publish it. Publish the change. And then that's it. You can go back and see how it works, how it looks. Okay, so it's updated. Also, you can access the collections here in the editor feature. See, collections, and it's a very friendly interface for working with the client. So projects, let's add another project. It's my other project. Okay. Airline Sunshine. And can just drag in our image. And this is the best. Yeah. Just create it. And then publish it. And then it's gonna reflect into your live website. That's how easy it is to edit in Webflow. Oh. Wait, let's go back. And let's add one more project so it doesn't look weird. Yeah. Go to the CMS, click your collection, add new category, and oh no, projects. Add new project, choose name, which sort. Yeah. And same thing. You can also add images or embed files here in the rich text. You can add, for example, the same image. If you want to add your picture of yourself, you want, you can left align, right align, and then have a caption. And choose a category, maybe app design. No, it's actually web design. Create. And let's give the others a category. This one is an app design. Save. Okay. Save. And cinema, let's capitalize this. App design, save. Yeah, then publish. And let's check out the live website. So yeah, you can see here our projects. And then here are the pages of your website. The template comes with these 3 pages. And this is the CMS collection page. But for that, we're just gonna check about the about page. So you can change our picture here with our picture. Just replace the image and click this button and choose your image and wait for it to load. And ta-da! You have your picture here. Yeah. And publish it. And let's go to the next page, which is the contact. For contact. So in this contact section, if someone sends a message in this, it's gonna go to your Webflow settings. Let's try that out. Contact. That's why I prefer having your email here rather than having this form, because you can't really, it's just more streamlined if it's straight to your email. So yeah, JP. Hello, testing. Mic. Okay. So now we're gonna go to our settings, which is this button right here in the upper left. And then project settings. And then forms. In the forms tab, you can check it. And then the lower here, this is the one that to be sent. And that's where your form submissions go. Also, there are other tabs here, and one of the tabs here is the font section. You can add your custom font or a Google font. Okay. I'm just gonna show you how easy it is to add a font. Maybe Georgia. These two. Just wait it to upload, and this looks good. Upload font file, publish it just to make sure. Let's go back to the designer so we can use our font. And let's select our body element and go to our class name and click here, and it shows you body all pages. This means is all the bodies of all the pages in all pages will respect this element. And if you change this to Georgia, where's Georgia? It's gonna affect all the elements. But right now, these are not being affected because it's a heading. So if we put a text element, text block. To do that, you can click Command E for the quick find and type in text block or a paragraph. Here. So our text block gets its font style from our body element. Okay? So you can just edit that so you can see it clearly. And in the body, let's go back to our body all pages tag and change the height to 1.2 dash. That means it's whatever the font size is times 1.2 will be the line height. So you don't really need to calculate yourself what the line height will be. Yeah. And then I think one of the last things that I'm gonna teach you here is this icons right here at the top of the screen. This is the breakpoints of your website. So this is the desktop breakpoint. This is where your styles originate. And then we have the tablet and mobile landscape and mobile portrait. So that's how we're gonna check the responsiveness of our website. You can check the tablet, so everything looks good. And mobile landscape. You notice our grid section below from a 3-column turns into a 2-column. You can actually edit that if you want, and just find the wrapper of the items. Or here. Collection list. Okay, you can click grid, and it's gonna be 2-column. Not sure why there's a missing element here. And then it's just gonna check the mobile portrait, and looks good. Also tells you down below what device is being used in which breakpoint. So if you're designing mainly for Pixel phones, you can use this breakpoint as your base, but you also need to have your designs responsive and have responsive units. Okay, so it is even as a breakpoint for the NES system. Yeah, or iPad Touch. Yeah. And these are the pixels below of the screen width of each devices. Yeah. Mostly I designed for this breakpoint 375 because it's the most popular in our user according to our survey. Yeah. So you can really edit this in any how you want. This text is inside a link block. You can change the link block to go wherever you want, or you can choose a page in your Webflow website. Choose page. You can choose the home. So every time the user clicks this link block, it will go to your home page, and you can choose to open this tab or a new tab. So let's publish that. And refresh this. And click our name. So yeah, it goes to our link to our homepage now. So that's how easy it is to edit links in Webflow. If you have questions, don't be afraid to ask in the slide though. We can run through this again later on. Okay, just checking our time, so we have a lot of time. Anyway, that's the how to create an online portfolio. You can also edit our projects, so it's just gonna show all those that we made. So we can delete those that aren't ours. Select and delete. Or if you don't want to delete, you can just archive them. There. So it's not going to show in the live site. So yeah, publish this and refresh it, and there. Okay, and you can check and change our gradients here if you want. If you want to add a little more color because it looks a little dead, maybe like that. And for next section, or I think it's the body. Yeah, it's the body. And you can use the eyedropper tool to select the color that you want. There. Yeah. So if you've done the steps as I showed, you can share your Webflow websites if you want. You can publish it. And refresh. So yeah, you can see, or you can't because it's very subtle. We changed the background color. So yeah, that's how easy it is to do a online portfolio, a custom online portfolio. And I'll also teach you about Open Graph, just on-page SEO. that's what it means, how it's gonna look if someone search your website. And go to the page tab, select the page that you want, and click the gear icon. And here is the SEO settings. This is a plugin in WordPress, but it's built in Webflow. Let's check the best internet ever get. And you can check here and click it, so it's gonna show the same. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna show you how it works in one of my websites. You can select Philippine Webflow Designer. So I actually rank in Webflow in Google when you search Philippine Webflow Designer. Okay, so this is one of my websites, which is empowering Filipinos through design. And this is the WebWorks agency that I talked about, that they did those 3 websites that I showed earlier. And yeah, so this is how it looked like. And you can edit this in your Webflow website. So you click this, it's gonna go to my website. It's my about section. So it also helps that you have a lot of text in your website because you're gonna rank up. So I basically place my story here. And you can go to the homepage if you want. Yeah. What's good here is with the editor feature of Webflow, you can put a question mark and type edit and enter. It's gonna give you the editor access. And since I'm not a collaborator, it's gonna push me to the Webflow designer. So just try it. Okay. So just click editor. Then we can edit our live website. Okay. So you see, it's just easy, so easy. You can just double click it and update your website. Publish one change. Yeah, if you have a hovering client or helicopter client, this is really time-saving feature. Yeah, so that's our live website now. Oh, did I publish? Oh, okay, it just published right now. And let's refresh this. So yeah, that's how fast it is. And let's just edit this back. Actually detected another open tab, that's why it refreshed. So it doesn't have any problem with synchronization. And publish change. Yeah, so we're putting it back to how it looked before. And then what's this? So that's how easy it is to create a Webflow website. And then let's move on. So as I showed you before, these are the free templates, and you can click here to see all the free templates. And then the paid templates I showed you earlier, and you also click here to see all the paid templates. And cursor high five. Yeah, congratulations for getting this far. You get yourself a high five. Yeah, if you hover in the high five, it's gonna high five you back. Yeah. And next one is for portfolio from scratch. I won't be doing this step by step, but I'm gonna show you the walkthrough. I'll walk you through how I did it. And you don't really need me to show it step by step because Webflow has a playlist of how they did it. And you can follow it along. Yeah. This is the hard part because when you get the hang of it, it's not really that hard. Okay. So, syempre, step 0 is design your website first before you develop it. And that I use is Figma. And this is my magulong file. But I also gave you guys a free resource, which is a Figma clonable or Figma template link. You can click that. It's gonna show you this one. I actually published this and 6 people already duplicated it. Yeah. So yeah, it's free if you want. And you can open the file. And hindi ito yun kasi nilinis ko na. It's gonna show you this one. Yeah. So if you want to personalize your website, you can actually add the logo of the company you're gonna apply for. Yeah. Also, I did this project in Webflow and have it free to clone. So you can actually clone this. So you just click the Webflow clonable link, and it's not gonna show the clone option for me, but since I own the project, but this is what it's gonna look like for you. So you can clone it if you want. Just gonna show you the live website first. Okay. So if you load the website, it's gonna show you a brief loading animation, and I did that in Webflow also. You didn't need to code anything. And yeah, so it's the simple website portfolio that I made. And what makes this good is it's very unique and nobody has the same website as I am, unless you cloned it. But that's not the point of this one. Anyway, and yeah, this is a CMS collection, and below this is about section of me. And I'm not from Ateneo. I just put it because you guys are from Ateneo. And if you click this, it's gonna email me. Let's go back. And you can also put your mobile number here. And if you're on the phone, you can click this and call the number. See? Or FaceTime it. And also put my resume here in PDF. You can upload a PDF file so you can see my resume. And then link if you want to check, or my Webflow profile. Yeah. So if you've noticed, this arrow is pointing to the right, but I made it responsive, so it's gonna point into another direction. Let's check pixel 2. There, it's pointing now downwards. Yeah. Okay, so at first you really need to design in Figma, and one of the few steps that I do is use post-its, and I put post-its for what I want to. I use post-its to lay out the website. So navbar, section header, product reviews, about section, and CTA. And I already skipped this one because I don't really need a copy or the text for this website. If you notice, these are just nonsense words. And also in this project item. Yeah, see? If you want a guide on how to create or design a proper content, Jiggy from another workshop did this. Not sure if I'm allowed to share that, but there it is. Anyway, so this it's like my wireframe. I don't really do wireframe like the boxes. I just go straight to designing the website. Yeah. I'm not saying that wireframing is not really required, but in my case, I'm the client, so I don't really need to ask myself or check myself with the flow. I can just create it straight away. And then just export the images. For example, this one, this gradient landscape, and I export this as an SVG. So let's do that. So I can just show you how it works. Portfolio, gradient landscape. See. And then can add a new div so I can show you how it works. Div, say sample gradients, and give it a height of about 600 pixels. And then going down, there's the background section, and you can click here in the plus and choose image, upload, and go to their folder, gradient landscape, open. It's gonna load it, but actually already here, so you can just click it here. You can use cover or contain. Cover means it's gonna stretch it out proportionally for your element, and that's how easy it is to upload an image. So I'm just gonna pick another image so we can see how it works. For example, here you can choose contain, so it contains the element proportionally, or cover if you want to stretch it out proportionally. You can do custom, for example, 180% of the width of the element. Okay. You can just anchor them in various places if you want. You can tile them if you want or no. And you can also use fixed. And what fixed does is it's gonna stay fixed, and it's kind of cool in some cases. Now let's go ahead and delete this one. And for this one, you can change the logo. So I can place image. I have placed here 2 logos here for interning for Grab. And I think I saw Alexis post last night that Caliber is looking for interns, so you can maybe use this template to apply. Anyway, you can just double click this, change your name. And what you do, brief summary. And for these ones, you can go to your CMS collection database and edit this. Yeah. There's some high level stuff here, which is in the collection pages. So it is one of the projects, and you just need one to structure one page for the collection item, and it's gonna do it for all of your collections. So this one, I place an embed here to get the link from the database and do this code. Yeah. So it's gonna get the link from the database and put it here. And this one, you can see I'm getting it from the database, which is the name. You can change this to the duration if you want the duration to be highlighted here. Or you can just name. You can also add maybe a text block and get the text from our database, maybe created on. So it's gonna show you when it was created, when the item was created. Okay, let's delete this one, change this one, created on. Or if you want to be more updated, you can just change updated. And then change it. Oh, it just shows you different layouts of the date, which is kind of cool. So file created on, updated on. You can publish that. And we only edited one collection item page. It's gonna do that for all items, for all projects that we have. So it's gonna refresh this website. So now it's Caliber. And then you're gonna click a project. You remember this one, this is the one that we edited and added the updated by. And click this. Now it also has the updated by. And then I'm gonna go to this one. Okay. I'm not really a fan of putting dates in your projects because later on your websites will gonna look outdated. Yeah, that's one trick. That's why I think Dribble doesn't have dates in their Dribble shots anymore. Yeah, so let's delete this one. Yeah. Let's publish. And refresh our page. Oh, let's just close this. Okay. Refresh our page. So the updated by will be gone, and also in all other pages. So you only need one, just like making a template for collection items. It's gonna propagate all those pages automatically. Okay. So that's how CMS item works. Also, in one of the websites I made, the Kislab, this was also created in CMS, and so you don't really need to use it for projects only. You can use it for maybe wedding albums. Like for this one, these are also collection items. So this one is one item, and this is another item, and you can click on them and see the contents. So it's like an online album. See? Just click it. It's gonna load it for you. So you don't really need to edit everything, and they're gonna have the same layout, but there's nothing wrong with that. See, if you notice, there's one main image, and there's a summary of the event, and then some images, and at the middle there's a fixed image. It's not yet loaded there, and then images, and at the end there's also a fixed image of a wide shot. So yeah, that's how we can make use of the CMS in Webflow. It's actually built in Webflow, and you have an option to export your website and see the code, but that doesn't apply in the free plan of Webflow. So yeah, you just click this to export code, this open and close bracket, or greater than and less than. You can see how the code looks like, and it's gonna load it for you. So yeah, it's the HTML code, and then there's the CSS. You can see there, I can say that they are properly layouted because I'm not a developer, but I haven't encountered a developer that said something wrong about how it is structured or formatted or layout. There's also Webflow's JavaScript and the assets. Parang naghang yung website ko. Not sure. Anyway, just refresh it if that happens. Ayan, nag-load na. You don't really need to worry about when to save your Webflow because it automatically saves your Webflow project. You can see here, there's the 3 dots. And if it turns to a check mark, that means na save na yung project nyo. So right now, hindi pa siya nag-turn ng check mark. Maybe mabagal yung internet ko. There, nag-check na. So you can refresh the website or close the website anytime you want. And what's good about Webflow is it's browser-based. Webflow doesn't have an online app or a program, so you can go to any OS and use Webflow as long as it can run over browser. Can also run Webflow in an iPad, I think, but I haven't tried. But I know some people do that. Yeah. So yeah. So we talk about CMS, project section, projects page, contact section. Let's go there. So contact section, if you notice, in every page we have this. So I made it a symbol so lahat ng contacts section ko is pare-parehas. And I can double click it to edit the symbol. And you can see here is an email. So yeah, here's my email. And click here, and this is my number. So you don't need to put your number in the text block. You can just say, call me. And then click that your icon, see, or put your phone here. So yeah, that's the. So what I did here is in the breakpoint, the tablet breakpoint, I made it so that the grid is now one column instead of having two columns before in the desktop breakpoint. Yeah, so now it's in the desktop, it's two columns, and the tablet is now one column. And CSS in Webflow cascades from desktop to mobile. So if I edited something in the tablet, it won't affect the element in the desktop, but it will affect those that are in the mobile landscape and mobile portrait. So yeah. Now it's one column. Yeah. Yeah, it's time check. Okay, see, we have a lot of time. And medyo patapos na rin ako, but it's fine. So we can answer a lot of questions. And then, so that's the contact section, and navigation menu naman. This is the nav bar, the one at the top. So this one, simple lang. If it turns to a smaller screen size, if you notice, naging icon siya. Yes, it's it. So yeah. So you can click that, and it's gonna drop down all your links in the nav bar. Webflow has a built-in nav bars you can use. So you just go to your section that you want to place it, and then go to the add panel and go down, find the nav bar. Here's the nav bar. You can drag it to your canvas, and it's gonna show you the nav bar. You can style it how you want. Let's say 100% for the width, so it spans 100%. And then I don't like this container, so I create my own container. So create a div block. So Command E to put it fast, and Command Enter to type in the class name. So I already have a container, so I'm just gonna select the previous or existing class name. I'm gonna put it inside the nav bar. I do this fast so you can see how you can do it quickly. And then put it aside and delete this one. And then I'm gonna structure this so it's the nav bar too. Let's say it's a horizontal layout, and I want them to justify the elements to hug the sides. So yeah, so they're hugging the sides now. If you want, you can put your nav bar in the center if you want. Time for it to put it in here. And if you check the tablet, it turns into an icon. So what it does, it's in this settings panel, you can change how that works. You can click this menu, nav menu, and you can select in which breakpoint it will turn into an icon. So let's say phone landscape for now. If you go to tablet, it's not yet an icon. If you go to landscape, phone landscape, mobile landscape, it's now an icon. So go back to tablet and drag this one, it's now an icon. So that's how it works. And then let's delete this one for now and edit our original nav bar. If you select the menu button, you can open the menu here. See how it looks like. Yeah. Right now it's not showing properly because it's a symbol and we have somewhat a dark overlay, so it's not showing properly. So you can just select your element and change your nav bar. Yeah, so you can change it to red if you want. I want to have white and 90% alpha channel. The alpha channel is the opacity, or the opacity of the layer or the color. Okay. So yeah, we have also the opacity here if you want to fade everything. But let's reset that. Okay. So that's the nav bar. Okay. Don't really need to close it because it automatically closes in your live site. Yeah. Can you see? It turns into an icon when we resize it. Just close it for now. Medyo na-OC ako. Close icon. Close menu. Here. Okay, let's go back to our slides. So yeah, so this is my gift for you, yung Figma template link and Webflow clonable link. So you can clone the Webflow website and have it for yourself. You just need to edit it. And then, I think may kalimutan yata ako. Pero, sige, mamaya na lang. Oh yeah, if naguluhan kayo dun sa tinuro ko, you can just follow assets nila if you want. Webflow's tutorial. It's really fun if you want to try it out. Oh yeah, this one, I did the Figma template in about 3 hours. And usually kapag gumagawa ng website, it's the time equals to 1 to 1.5% the time I designed it in Figma. So 3 hours and 4 hours in Webflow. 3 hours in static composition and 4 hours in Webflow development. So that's why I'm a full stack designer. I don't really code, but I can create live websites with Webflow. And I design websites with Figma. Yeah. So anyway, that's all there to it. If you want to join Webflow Manila or attend Webflow events, you can click this button here. Yeah, so you can click this button here. And we also have a Kabita chapter. Si WebWorks, yung agency kanina, they handle the Kabita chapter. He attended, I think, the January and February Manila event. And since then, Webflow fanatics na sila. Also, may 90% off for students sa CMS plan. If you want to learn more, you can check here. And for professors, you can ask them to teach Webflow and libre lang. And for the students, kailangan ng school email, yung .edu email or Ateneo that I'm not sure ano yung domain ng Ateneo, but you get it. For free, so yan nga, sa educators free siya. So if you want Webflow to be taught in your school, you can ask your professors for this. Just click this and you can apply in this link. Yeah. Actually, sa totoo lang sa Webflow, mas natuto mag-code or understand what code does rather than other websites like W3 schools. Hirap mag-aral doon. Yeah. Anyway, and next steps. And is this. If you haven't done the workshop right now, please schedule a meeting yourself if you want to have an online portfolio. And I know mga 90% of you or 95% of you won't gonna do this, but this really helps if you really want an online portfolio. And start with a free template para mas you can learn easily. And you can really customize a template however you want, unlike other platforms that shows originality in your side, and also you can have design freedom and express yourself visually. And libre lang naman yung may libreng plan naman, so why not use it? And apply for internship or work, and you're gonna earn some money if you want. And funny thing pala is, actually published this 2 nights ago, this template, and someone asked me, which is Joe. He emailed me about an internship opportunity for FinSuite. They're one of the best Webflow agencies. Funny nga kasi I wasn't really looking for an internship or looking to apply, but we had an email chain na, so I'm not sure if we're gonna work this out. Pero yun, it's really fun na I just posted it without really, it's not even dedicated to him or anything. Just posted it without anything finished. So this sentence not really profound, or the project details aren't really, Lauren is yung pangalang lahat eh. So, and I'm not planning to really put work into this because side project nga lang to. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, don't be afraid to put your imperfect self out there, and you don't know who are looking or who might be there for you. Yeah, kasi most of the time as designers we tend to be perfectionists, and I struggled with this before then. That everything needs to be perfect, but the reality is nothing's really perfect. Everything's in a constant iteration. Yeah. So I think that's the end of my talk. So design better, faster, together. Thank you.
All right. So, wow. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much for those valuable insights. That workshop was really interesting to me because yeah, I've heard of Webflow and I've always wanted to try it, but it does take up a lot of time, like to learn it. So we're very appreciative that you were able to give us a workshop on Webflow today. So how about everybody else? How are you guys? How are you doing? Can I ask anyone who attended the workshop to like kind of share what you guys learned today? Since you guys like we learned a lot about Webflow today. I'm pretty sure that our participants want to like share, you know, some of their main takeaways as well to everyone. So tell us what you learned today. You guys can raise your hand on Zoom, or you can even chat it, and I can say it aloud for you. So just a reminder, we'll be giving free gift gift certificates to proactive participants. So don't be shy to share your thoughts. I think I heard someone. Joke lang. I might be wrong. Haha. Nag-raise pa ng hand. Hindi ko makita. Oh, joke, you can see it. Cool. Okay. Since nobody is raising their hand, I'm going to share my takeaways. Diba? Yeah, para fun. So, personally, I was shocked when Mr. JP kind of explained the no code thing. So visual coding instead of manual coding is a brilliant innovation, especially for people like me who should be studying how to code, but then and my attention span is very not okay. So I would rather put my time in visual coding in Webflow. Ganun. So it's nice to make like web design accessible for everyone. Personally, yun nga, I've never used Webflow. Sorry, but I've always wanted to try it because yeah, I've only heard good things about it. For the designers in here, like if there are any designers in the crowd question mark audience, yes, one of those. Um, Someone gave me like really solid advice that it's very important to have a portfolio website. Please don't put your works in a Google Drive and call it a day. I gotta admit, I used to do that. Okay, we all went through that phase. It's okay. You guys can admit it. Just kidding. But like, yeah, I did that also. So a portfolio website, it kind of allows you to be insightful to the people that are gonna view it. Like, and you can even express your personal branding. So yeah, it's good for you. And you even have Webflow to learn and you can play with it. So you don't need to manually code your stuff. Oh yes, Patricia Gabriel Ramos. Hello. Sorry to hide that. Okay, so she said that she's been also trying to get herself to learn Webflow. The learning curve is definitely there, especially as someone with like 10% knowledge on web development. But there are so many resources, Webflow, of course, like Webflow University, etc. So those definitely help. For sure, I shall be checking it out myself, you know what I mean? Yes, thank you very, very much for all the resources. They have been really, really what's the word for resourceful to us. Ayun. So um All right, so we're going to move on to our questions since we can still hear from everybody's insights, but we want to also move on to our questions. So I'm going to open up our Slido and check out the questions that we have. Okay, we have quite a lot of questions. We have around 16 questions. Okay, so the first question is, can you create an e-commerce website in Webflow for free also? Yeah.
Okay, so definitely you can create a website of e-commerce in Webflow, but the downside is hindi pa maganda yung e-commerce sila. And I would suggest is use Shopify if you're gonna do some usual e-commerce website. But you can create an e-commerce website in Webflow, pero digital items lang. For example, fonts or PSDs, sketch files, or Figma files. So for digital transactions, you can definitely create a free e-commerce website in Webflow. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, thank you so much. This next question, at JP, as someone who uses Webflow often, do you subscribe to the? I think this means paid to the paid version. I don't think it's paying version. Do you think it is a worthy investment?
Okay, so I'm actually a Webflow leader. That means I'm one of the community leaders. And one of the perks of being a community leader is they give you a pro plan for Webflow. So that's unlimited projects. And
Perks.
so I posted the link for the link where you can apply as a community leader.
Okay, that's cool. All right, guys, you check out the link. Oh, it was sent in the chat, so check that out. All right, so next, so to create a website in Webflow, you have to create all assets in a separate app like Figma, then upload them into the CMS.
Oh, I was just gonna add pala dun sa question kanina.
Okay, sorry, go on.
If I wasn't a community leader, walang pro plan, I think it's a very worthwhile investment if you're really planning to go on the field of freelancing as a web designer or web developer, or even in your own business. In our company, I design landing pages and we have a team plan, and it's really great na you can consolidate all the projects. So it's definitely a worthwhile investment. But first, use the free project plan muna before you invest in the paid plan. Yeah. What's the question again?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
So to create a website in Webflow, do you have to create all assets in a separate app like Figma and then upload them into the CMS?
I think you don't really need to create assets in separate programs if you already have those assets. For example, if you have a client that has images for their company, you don't really need to go to Figma to resize them or everything. But it helps that you can optimize the images so it can fit the images in your website. For example, if they have like 2,000 with image, and if you're gonna put that into a website, pero yung element mo it's like 600 width lang, you want to make that image 600 pixels para mabilis mag-load yung website. And I think that's what they're trying to ask. I'm not sure. Tell me na lang if hindi. Thank you.
Okay, so whoever asked that question, if nasagot yung question mo, sabihin mo sa chat. Pero we'll move on to the next question. So, have you observed any limits with Webflow?
Yes, actually Webflow has a website where you can wish what's missing in Webflow. So you can go to that website and see everything that the community is asking for. And you can also see they also have tags in the futures. So user login and membership functionality is not yet in Webflow, but there are third-party apps that you can use for user login or membership. And that's actually the backlog of Webflow. And they don't give deadlines for their futures because in the development world, all deadlines are being pushed and ayaw nila mag-let down ng tao, so they don't put deadlines. So those are, you can find in that link yung limitations ni Webflow. Yeah. If you're gonna ask more about specific limitation, you can ask it if you want. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. If you guys are curious and you see the link and you have questions about it, please throw it in the Slido. The next question is there a Figma integration or plugin that can help with transitioning the design to Webflow? Is it beneficial does it speed up the work?
Yes, but it's just in the beta work, so only community leaders have an access in it. So you can go to your, well, I can go to my assets. There's a drop down here. This won't show up in your Webflow designer, so you can see import from Figma, and you can link your Figma link. Just go in your Figma and select the share button. Click the share button and copy the link and paste it in your Webflow website. Oh, I'm not actually not showing my screen. Wait, wait, where's okay? Share screen. Okay, okay. So I'm just gonna go back. Click the assets tab. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, so you can go here. There's a drop down icon here. This won't show in your Webflow designer. And then import from Figma. It's gonna show a modal where you can click here and connect your Figma link. Go to Figma, click the share button, and then copy link. I'm gonna paste it here and link file. And what that's gonna do is gonna, oh, it's not working. Anyway, it's just in the beta, that's why there's a lot of things that's not working. So what's that gonna do? It's gonna show you all of the files that you have an export property of. It's actually right now buggy. Not sure why. It's right here. Okay, it's not nilet daw ni Webflow ngayon. Anyway, beta process pa lang siya. Hindi pa siya available for anyone. And right now, naka-on hold yung project na to. So, matagal pa yung yung Figma integration. So, yan.
Oh, I see. It's pretty cool though. That would be like very, very fast, no? It's basically like uploading
Yes.
Figma on Webflow. That's cool, that's cool. Excited for that. Excited for that. All right. So thank you for answering that question. The next question is, how does Webflow compare to other website builders such as Shopify, Wix, or Squarespace, etc.? What are the greatest advantages and disadvantages of each, if ever?
Okay, so Shopify right now is the king of e-commerce, and I can't recommend Webflow right now for e-commerce. And I'm gonna find a link of Shopify versus Webflow so you can see differences. Wait lang. So yeah, it's actually made by Webflow. So you can see here the difference of Shopify and Webflow. And ako talaga, I recommend Shopify if you're gonna do e-commerce because Webflow is not there yet. Okay? So then yung e-commerce side. And then for Wix and Squarespace, I haven't really dabbled in those, pero I tried it. I tried watching tutorials of them, and the main limitation is design freedom. Only we're gonna work with a template, and the only thing you can do is change the assets or the text and change the spacing. You can't really do crazy animations and stuff from what I observe. So I can't really put more thought on it. And I think the greatest advantage of Webflow is design freedom and yung libre subdomain, where I just show you that you can really create a website in a matter of minutes lang. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you for weighing in on that. Personally, like I've tried both Wix and Squarespace, and yeah, it's true that Webflow has so much more design freedom. Like you can customize it so much more than Squarespace and Wix, which have just themes that you can choose from. That's the only customization that you can actually do is like the blocks, like this logo here and this logo here. That's all. That's it. Like for colors and stuff, bahala ka na. Bahala na sa Squarespace team, ganon. And also, sorry, nag-rant pa, diba? Pero like, Squarespace, I made my portfolio there, like my first portfolio was on Squarespace. And then they made me have a password. So every time anybody wanted to go to the site that I published, they have to put in a password. Like, Sorry, no hate, no hate. You guys can try it out. Like, see for yourself which one is better for you. But from now on, I'm a personal advocate of Webflow because like I just tried it out kanina and it's super. So it's more design freedom now. So that's good. All right. After that quick rant, let's move on to the next question. What features can you do with the free version of Webflow when you want to make a business website?
Okay, so I'm not really sure what the question is about because you can really do anything that you can. Limited lang sa CMS items, like 15, I think, for the free tier. Kasi the free tier is like basically you trying out Webflow, but you can also create websites with a free tier naman, like a one pager. That's very doable naman. It's really popular right now in one pager, and then one pager means one page website. Yun. And then I think limitation is yun nga yung 2 pages lang yung project mo, and you can't do manual coding. You cannot add embedded codes in a free plan, and you can also add custom code. Yun. And you can't export your code in your free version, but you can do a lot of things in the free version naman. And all those stuff that I showed you, except the CMS na limited lang sa 15, I think you can do it in a free plan naman. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I actually have like a follow up where I'm trying to articulate this. This Webflow, like, kasi nga, diba, like Shopify, you see that you would recommend more Shopify than Webflow when it comes to e-commerce.
Yes.
Because is there a payment method, payment gateway? I think this is called payment gateway in Webflow.
Yes, I'm gonna look it up lang kasi I know they have Shopify and Stripe. I'm not sure if yun lang yung payment gateways sila.
Mm.
Yeah. Or you can ask the question ahead naman, yung next.
Oh yeah, sure, sure, sure. The next question is, if a font is not free for commercial use, can I still use it on my portfolio website? Not really a question for the workshop, just in general.
Okay, so sa previous question, you can use credit card, GPay, Apple Pay, or PayPal. And for this question naman is, you can definitely use, but it's unethical if you haven't paid for it. You can use free Google fonts, and Google fonts have a lot of different fonts that you can use naman. And can use, kasi if you're gonna use a paid font and you haven't paid for it, someone can fact check you on that and baka ma-demanda ka pa. Pero nobody does that, pero it's really unethical din to do that. Yeah, it's easy to download the font of a website if you know how to do it. Yeah. So, yeah, be ethical lang.
Yes, very good point. Next question. Hello, can we see a sample of creating some sort of animation like gradient earlier? Or was that done somewhere else then uploaded as an asset?
Yeah, for sure. I am gonna share my screen para makita niyo.
Okay, for sure.
Okay, let's go in my dashboard. Let's create a new project so you can see na walang daya. And new project. And blank site. Gradient UX. So we already have the image exported, so I'm just gonna get it in my project folder and paste it, and actually drag it in Webflow. It didn't do it. Anyway, it doesn't do it. Just upload. Oh, it's here. Anyway, drag it to the canvas, and there, you just publish it. Nothing's gonna happen in the live website because we haven't placed any interaction yet. So yeah, so that's what it looks like. Let's give it like this is the max width, so it's 100% of its file image. Let's put it to none. Let's make it width to 100%, and the height is in auto, so it's gonna resize proportionally. And so we have an image. This is our interactions panel, and in the page trigger, we can add here page load. So that means when the page starts loading, we want this interaction or animation to happen. and we can pick the plus icon so we can add an animation, and we're gonna name this animation gradient U, and just select this element that we want. So add a filter, and then filter. This is gonna make it add it and filter to U rotate. So what this does is it rotates the U. If you use Photoshop, it basically rotates your U. So let's put this into 0, and let's make that the initial state of the element. So if it loads up, that's the first state it has. That's 0 degrees in U rotation. So let's duplicate this element or this animation tab, and let's put the duration to 5 seconds, and let's make the U rotate to 360 so it's a full circle. And then we're gonna duplicate that one again, so we can loop this and make this to 0. So it's gonna go back to 0, but we want this duration to be 0. So it's gonna rotate so fast that you won't notice it goes back to the rotation. So it's gonna save that and put it into a loop. And then we're gonna publish it. And then open it to new tab. And you can see it for yourself that the animation is happening. So that's how easy it is to create the U animation. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that was a cool demonstration. That was nice. That's cool. I want to try that. I'm gonna try that later. Okay, so thank you so much for that. The next question is, I tried starting from scratch, and there are these things called section, container, div block, and other terms. How do I understand this vocabulary?
Okay, so we're gonna share my screen again. So you're going back and forth. Container. Okay, let's go to Apple's website. Yeah. Continue. So a section is this one. Basically, in one section, you want one message. So this one, it's all about the iPhone 12 Pro. So this is that section. And the next section is about this one, so the colorways of iPhone. And the next section is this one. And the next section is these 2 columns, or it can even be this grid, this 6-cell grid. So it really depends on you. And the container is what contains the website to be in the center. So if you notice, if we zoom out totally, you can see there's like a maximum width. So that's the container. Sometimes you can have the container in just this size and not the full width. But there's no real way to, or there's no real there's a standard, but you can really create what you want. You don't really need to follow the standard layout. And just gonna show you again here. So what you want to do is add a section, and then a container. So you notice it's centered. So your elements, if I place this image in the container, it's contained in the center. Okay. So in this container, we can put a div block, and in this div block, we can put our image, and then we can also put headings. And then we can drag that to rearrange. And this div block can actually change it into a grid. So it has 2 columns and 2 rows. And then we can edit the grid to have 3 columns or 2 rows or whatever you want in here. There. So we have a problem right now. We want these 2 elements to be in the same cell. So what we can do is create another div block and put those 2 elements together. So now they're in one cell. So we can copy paste this so it propagates to the grid. And then that's how easy it is. Easy it is. Section, container, and whatever you want. Sometimes you don't really need a container if you want to maximize the whole screen. Okay. So there's no definite way to do it, but this is the most common way that they do it. So, yeah, that's it.
Ooh. Yes. You also have Google on your side. That's how I learn things. I go like,
Yeah.
oh, section. Yes, thank you so much for that. Also, the demonstration kind of explains in a visual way for everyone. The next question is: does resolution matter when you upload photos on Webflow? How good does the resolution have to be for high quality looking sites?
Okay, for this one, it does matter, but it also depends on your target audience. For example, our target audience usually uses mobile, so resolution doesn't really matter that much. But it helps that when you use Figma, it shows you the pixels of your elements and it also shows you the sizes of each devices. So I use the MacBook Pro screen size, and basically when I size my elements there, I don't really care that much if the user has a bigger screen because they're not our target market. But if you have a target market that has bigger screens, you can have a larger breakpoint in Webflow. And resolution does matter, and that's why we have different breakpoints. So you can resize your Webflow resizes your image automatically. And so if ever you uploaded a big image in Webflow, Webflow creates like multiple breakpoint images, multiple images in different breakpoints. So it loads those different images. For example, you uploaded like a 2000 pixel photo. In mobile, it's not gonna load that 2000 pixel photo. Webflow creates an image for that in the mobile breakpoint. But it also matters that you create for each breakpoint. We create for the biggest breakpoint that you have, not the 2000, because so that's like overkill, and you can't optimize your website if you're gonna use high resolution images. But in some cases, it really the client prefers high resolution images, and you can use a loader screen to tackle that. And also, Webflow has a feature where you can lazy load your images. What that means is it's gonna load your image once the user scrolls to it, so it's not gonna load all your websites all at once. So yeah.
Okay, listen, cool. Alright. Moving on to the next question. How's the Webflow learning curve for people who have zero knowledge on web development, like HTML or CSS?
Okay, I actually started without learning what code is. I graduated architecture and shifted to advert and events, and then to a digital company. And then that's where I started to learn Webflow. And what you just need to understand is about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is HTML are the elements. Those are the images, videos, the I think that's it. That's it. And the div blocks, those are the elements for the HTML. And CSS is the styling panel. So you can use the styling panel of Webflow to create CSS. So I'm just gonna show you a quick demonstration in in CSS panel. Okay, so you can see here the CSS preview. So I select this image, and then so yeah, we're gonna change the width. You can see in real time that it's changing the CSS. So that's basically what CSS is. This is the styling panel, and this the different CSS properties. You don't really need to memorize them all because it's already here. And then for JavaScript is the interactions. I didn't really learn JavaScript. I just know Adobe After Effects, and that's what made me very easy to learn the interactions here. For example, in if you select this element and place it on element trigger, you can select scroll into view. So when it the element shows into the user's viewport, you can select an action. So they have different preset animations here. So for example, grow and preview that. Let's change it to something more napapansin. So spin. Yeah. So you can publish that and see how it works. So if the user loads the website, it's gonna spin. Let's refresh this. Yeah, so it's fun. Yeah. And then also, since may class names silang pare-parehas, you can select this element and select this element trigger. You can say na all classes that has the same class, all elements that has the same class will animate like that. So publish this. And then go back to our website. Just refresh. So yan, lahat sila umikot. You can also control kung saan lang sila mag-trigger. You can uncheck the phone para hindi sila masyadong naguguluhan. Yun. So hindi sila mag-animate sa phone, sa desktop and tablet lang. So that's how easy it is sa interaction. Pero sa learning curve mismo, I say na it's a bit harder than Photoshop kung you know Photoshop. And it takes time. What makes it easier is the clonables, and you can see the structure, how people do it, and also the YouTube tutorials. A lot of people then have step-by-step YouTube tutorials about Webflow, and that's what's helped me. And also the most, yung kung saan ka matututo ka talaga sa pag-create ng isang website sa Webflow. So you need to practice it, put it into practice so you can really learn. Kasi doon talaga natututo. And also, I started Webflow Manila to share my knowledge and also ma-force ako matuto kasi kailangan ko ituro kailangan aralin ko. So I put in topics that I don't know yet in the website in Webflow Manila. And before the event, I started doing the tutorials or learning the tutorials. So I also forced myself to learn. Yeah. So that's one way of learning, I guess.
Nice. So medyo may pressure yung pag-learn.
Yes.
Okay. So if you do static frames in Figma, how do you know how the motion will go in Webflow?
Okay. So doing static frames in Figma is, I don't really think ahead of time. Sometimes I do if I really want it to look good. And it doesn't matter naman if it's gonna change in Webflow your design. Most of the time, that's what happens in my case. But you can also stick in your design if you want. And tulad nga sabi ko kanina is websites are in a constant process of iteration. You don't need to stick in one design naman. You can play around different elements or different interactions to see what works or what not. Diba? So yeah, you don't really need to think ahead of time. You can just think ahead. You can think of the present muna na how will this lay out, and then think of the interactions at the end. For example, yung student portfolio with the gradient you rotate. I didn't really think of that before doing it before Webflow. So I did it in Webflow na mismo. So yeah.
Okay, cool. So more like the creativity comes also when you work on Webflow.
Yeah, it's in the process.
Cool. Okay, so this next question, I think this was answered Darren. What are the cons of using Webflow? So we'll skip that if that's all right. Next one is also not that much of a question. They hope that you will share the slides and also the recording of the video. The slides was sent earlier.
Okay, are you guys send us slides ulit para if you have a copy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There. So it's in the chat. So please check it out. I have seen it. It looks cool. Next question. For a responsive site, some images may have to resize but this will be our last question, by the way. For a responsive site, some images may have to resize from web to mobile. Is there an option in the CMS to set the POI? I don't know like half of these words. Or how is the resizing done?
I'm not sure rin sa POI, pero sa like I said before kanina, sa images, Webflow does the resizing for you. They create the images na mismo. So I'm just gonna share my screen again. So for example, in this website, let's export the code para makita nyo. Let's time check muna tayo. Oh no. Yeah. So you can prepare zip file. And then it's gonna take maybe a couple of minutes, pero I'll try to find a project that we have. Maybe this one? No? Oh no. Oh there, download zip. Portfolio, save. Let's open the zip file. And then, so images here, you can see it has different breakpoints na kagad. So yeah, 2000 pixel, 1600, 1080, 800, 500. So you don't really need to worry about resizing your images one by one. Webflow does that for you na. So yeah, so that answers that question.
Alright, thank you. Medyo speedrun yung answer because sorry, we're crunched with time. So that has to be our last question. We hope you learned a lot in Mr. Dionisio's workshop on how to create an online portfolio without coding. I am sure you guys are more knowledgeable about customizing your portfolio Webflow resources now because pretty sure I am. With this, UX Society would like to award a certificate of appreciation to Mr. Dionisio. This certificate is awarded to JP Dionisio in gratitude for speaking at this year's UX&Chill 2020 Experience Digital with the topic Webflow Workshop, How to Create an Online Portfolio Without Coding, given on this day, 5th day of December 2020. Thank you so much, Mr. Dionisio, for enriching workshop. So thank you everyone also for coming. Before we end, let us first take a photo for our Zoom attendees. We highly encourage everyone to open your cameras for our group photo. Let's go, guys. Zoom photos. Love that. So yeah, let's turn on our cameras. I think our resident event management team will be the one to take the photo. So ayun. Yes. Turn on your cams. Let's go. Hello, everybody. Wow, sana all gumagana yung Zoom background. Hindi mo gumagana sa akin. You want to see? Like, oh, it works. Okay, it wasn't working kanina, so that's not fine. It's the lighting. Lighting's better. All right, so let's take a photo. I'm going to ask. Okay, so is that everyone? I can kindly ask everyone else to open your cameras. It's okay if you can't. So yes. All right, so let's take a photo right now. Let's give out the event manager team that to take screenshots now. All right, so everybody give your prettiest, chillest, UX&Chillest smile. All right, in 3, 2, 1. May nag-send ng thumbs up ang kanyo naman. Okay, thank you so much everybody for participating in today's workshop, in today's talk. Thank you so much for coming to help us improve on our events. We hope that you guys answer the evaluation form for today's event. The link is being sent in the chat box. I think it's also, the QR code is being flashed on the screen as well. So please answer our evaluation. We really want to know what you guys think. We want to make your experience better, your user experience better. All right. Yes, so thank you so much. We would also like to thank our co-presenter UXPH and our partners, the Ateneo Consulting Group, the Computer Society of the Ateneo, the Developer Student Club Loyola, and the Ateneo Association of Communications Technology Management. Your support keeps this event going. Thank you guys. We'll see you later at 8 p.m. for a talk about my side project journey and how you can start yours by a special someone from Caliber. Interesting. Are you guys interested? I bet you all are. We'll see you later. Thank you so much for coming. Bye, guys.